Hello, everyone. My name is Aarya, and welcome to my CS2001 video demo. Today, we'll be looking at my components of the CS2001 group project that we dubbed Eco Billing. Please note that even though this was a group contribution, this video would primarily focus on my contributions to the group, my user stories, and the things that I developed over the course of the last term. Primarily, I'll be focusing on two user stories. A being the login and registration, and B being the calculation of the carbon footprint itself. Now, before we start, I'd like to share my screen and move on with the demo. I would first like to bring your attention to the MySQL workbench. As you can see, you've got these tables and two more user tables down here. So these tables were created directly from the backend. So even if we do end up dropping these tables here, so we drop these four here, and then these two here. Drop, drop now. Yeah. But even if we do drop them and we go back to our VS Code and stop running all applications, the moment we run energy application.java as the Java file, it's going to run Spring Boot and it's going to repopulate the entire MySQL table with everything we just deleted. As you can see, if I refresh here, it's going to fetch all the tables and bring the populated tables back into the schema. As you can see, there you go. That's a populated block table, which was brought upon by the backend and the Spring Boot code. Now, I would like to close these tabs and run the front end once again from scratch. We would go, oops, sorry about that. We would go cd front end and npm start. This would directly take us to the login page for EcoBilling. Looks like I'm running out of battery. Right. This would directly take us to the login page for EcoBilling. Since we're not logged in members yet, we can register now, as you can see, using the inspect element and the network tab. I would be registering with my own name, surname, email address, and password. Looking at the network tab, once I click register, it successfully registers using a post API. Let's try it again with another entity. Let's try Ethan, who's my brother, with the same last name and incomplete email address and a password. As you can see, because of the incorrect email address, there is a prompt and there's another prompt to fill out the entire email address. Clicking on register again would register him as well to the EcoBilling platform. Now, as you can see, we are both a part of this table. I'm going to go back and log in and click on login, and it's going to let us log in. There you go, post API. Now, that dealt with the first part of the user story, or one of the first user story, that was user login and registration. Now, I would like to bring your focus on the second user story, which is the calculation of the carbon footprint report itself. Before we start the actual carbon footprint calculation, there is something you need to know. You can, as a user, view blogs right here at the carbon footprint page. They provide reducing emissions, and because the likes are stored as an array list back in the MySQL table, which is where these blogs are pulled from, each user can only like a blog once. Anyway, moving back to the dashboard, if we try the carbon footprint calculator now and try and fill out any text, then it would not take any input, but it does take numerical input for this field. So there's 5 people living in my house. We're from India. We are living in a 200-meter square house, which is detached, 20,000 kilowatt a month power. And I use electricity as my primary heating source. Then I spend maybe collectively, we spend 20 hours on a tube, maybe 10 on a bus, none on intercities, and maybe 10 hours walking. And lastly, we need to write down our annual spendings in Great Britain pounds. So food and drink per year, maybe for 3,500 pounds, maybe pharmaceuticals a bit more, so 4,000. Clothes and textiles, not usually a fan of clothes, so 1,000 should do. Paper-based products, 1,000 should be fine. Computers, 3,500, and television and radio could be 2,400. Once you click on Generate Report, it would successfully create a report and save it under the Carbon Reports tab. Alternatively, you can save it directly as a PDF, which would download here, and show you the carbon footprint calculation outputs per kilogram, per ton, and in percentile. Now, we would go to the carbon reports, and I'd show you the the post API that works here. Let's go to the networks tab and just refresh it. There you go. You can download the report from here as well. Moving back to the dashboard. Now, let's try some user authentication. What if I leave the fields empty? It's going to ask me to please fill in the above fields. What if I fill only some of them? What if it's still going to ask me to fill all the fields? 5,000 detached. What if I enter a letter here? Nope, nothing at all. But it did provide an error. We just couldn't see it because it just moved to the next page. Right, we can do the same with the transport and same with the lifestyle, and it's going to loop all over again. You can click on log out and it's going to throw you out of the application back to the login screen. Thank you so much for watching. That was my application and my submission for the CS2001 demo. Thank you and have a good day.